Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. The Ordinary now have 3 moisturisers in their collection, and confusingly, they're all packaged identical to one another. One of the comments that I've been getting asked an awful lot recently is what are the key differences between these 3 options, and which one should you choose for your individual skincare routine? Well, in this video, I want to quickly break apart each 3 of these moisturisers, help you to work out what's the right one for your skin's needs. Sit back, relax, let's talk which is the best, the Ordinary Moisturizer. Now, before we get into this video, I would love to know what your own thoughts are on these products. Have you tried any of them? Are they your holy grails or your total fails? Sound off in the comment section below and let's get that conversation going. If you enjoy this style of slightly shorter video, but where we do a deep dive into a certain brand's range of products, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and a like. This truly is the best way of supporting me as a content creator, because the more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So, The Ordinary, their moisturisers. 2 of the new additions kind of came out of the blue. For years, we had just one product to choose from, which was this, the OG Natural Moisturising Factors plus Hyaluronic Acid. This was the only moisturiser in their collection from when they launched right the way through to around 6 months ago. Then in that 6-month period, we've had the launch of 2 new products. The Ordinary Natural Moisturising Factors with phytoceramides and the Ordinary Natural Moisturising Factors with beta-glucan. Same packaging, similar names, baffling and confusing. So let's break it apart. Well, first off, I don't think anybody should be buying the standard Natural Moisturising Factors plus Hyaluronic Acid. There's nothing wrong with it. This is a moisturiser I've used for years and had some really great results with. But this is the base formulation of the other 2 moisturisers, and for basically the same price point, you can get a whole lot more from the other 2. I think the other 2 products also will work for everyone's skin type if you choose the right one. So for this one, whilst it was a holy grail for a long period of time, I think it's a case of nothing to see here. You know, they've really outdone themselves with the new formulations, which means I think this kind of is a bit surplus to requirements, and definitely one that we don't need to talk about anymore. So on to the 2, which I think are holy grails. So let's start off with, which ones have we got? Let's do the phytoceramides one first. So in here, you've got the base formulation of the natural moisturising factors, but a few additional oils which are going to add some additional hydration and nourishment to the skin. You've also got ceramides in here, which are wonderful at locking in hydration, boosting the moisture levels of the skin, and repairing the skin barrier. You need to invest in your ceramides. I think a lot of people think you're going to see instant results on day one. You're not. Like a lot of skincare ingredients, those results are cumulative. Invest in your ceramide action now for some great long-term payoff. Your skin will just be that little bit more resilient, able to withstand some other actives that you might be using, and it definitely will help to improve the barrier function of the skin to protect our skin all day long. I love some ceramide action in my skincare routine, and these are a great way of getting some ceramides without also having the cruelty that's attached to the CeraVe brand, which a lot of us go for CeraVe for our ceramide infused skincare, but they do test on animals, whereas the Ordinary don't, which is why I think this is a great alternative and dupe to CeraVe that I recommend for a lot of people. So in here, you've got those ceramides, you've got those additional oils, but you've got a really rich application. So if you see how this goes onto the skin, I might have used slightly too much for the back of my hand there. This is a sort of amount you'd want to use all over the face. But as you work it in, you can definitely see this is quite a thick and occlusive product. Now, this is great if you have a dryness-prone skin type, because you want something that'll add in a lot of hydration, but also lock it all in. So that slight occlusivity will provide a little bit of a layer, preventing some transepidermal water loss, and just keep all of that nourishment locked into the skin. It will, over time, dissolve. So, like, as you can see there, it's gone on ever so slightly dewy to the touch, but you give this like 2 minutes and it will sink in without a trace. I definitely think the one with phytoceramides is best for the drier or combination dry skin types amongst us. I think if, like me, you've got super oily or acne prone skin, this might just be a little bit too heavy and almost feel like you're wearing a mask. You can absolutely have too much of a good thing, and whilst this might be nourishing and hydrating for some, for those on the oilier side of skin types, it might just be a little bit too rich, and that's okay, because we're going to come on to an option in a minute that'll work wonderfully for you. But this, like I say, work it into the skin, you'll definitely notice that instant plumping, that hydration, and that occlusive layer which will lock everything in. The price point of this, as I said, is very similar to the original, but you're getting additional ceramides, you get some additional oils, definitely a step up. And I think this, for the dry skinned, combination dry skinned, could be a real holy grail drugstore moisturiser. Now let's go on to the other option, which is the natural moisturising factors plus beta-glucan. Now, beta-glucan is a wonderful humectant, drawing in and retaining moisture within itself. It's also calming and soothing. It can prevent inflammation in the skin. This is a totally different consistency to the one with phytoceramides. So as you can see, it goes on like a true gel. In fact, I'd say this is one of the few true gel moisturisers that actually exist. A lot of other moisturisers that call themselves gel moisturisers are quite runny, almost like a serum in texture. Not with this. Look, this is a really nice bouncy gel. You work it into the skin and it disappears without a trace. Of course, it's the Ordinary, so it's cruelty-free. This is also fragrance-free, as is the one with phytoceramides. So if you're looking for a fragrance-free gel moisturiser, this could be a great option. Now, it shouldn't be too much of a revelation to see a fragrance-free gel moisturiser, but unfortunately it is. If you think of any of the ones on the market, I struggle to find a truly fragrance-free gel option in the moisturiser world. A lot of them have quite potent scents to them, which isn't going to work for everyone. So this is a great cruelty-free, fragrance-free option for those of us that have a slightly oilier skin type. So that beta-glucan is great if you've got a very active breakout, because it's going to minimise the redness and the inflammation associated with it. This is also a product I've been using for some time now. It hasn't broken me out, it hasn't exacerbated my acne, and whilst I'm in my late 30s, I still definitely do get adult acne breakouts, and this has worked wonderfully on my skin. I think the people that benefit most from this are the oily or the combination oily skin types. Having something that genuinely delivers a meaningful level of hydration, but without the risk of it weighing the skin down, is pretty rare. A lot of gel moisturizers disappear without a trace, and you think, why did I even apply that? What was the point of that? I haven't got any dewiness, any plumpness to the skin. It hasn't really hydrated. This one definitely delivers meaningful hydration and a nice plumping action to the skin, as hopefully you can see. It's not tacky either. A lot of gel moisturizers can be a little tacky on the touch, not with this one, and it's niacinamide free. So for people that are looking to minimize the amount of niacinamide in their skincare routine and struggle to find a gel moisturizer that doesn't contain niacinamide, this is a really, really great option. So this, again, similar price point to the original OG, but with those beta-glucans and in a beautiful gel-like formulation. Now, where I think this could be a holy grail for a whole different suite of people is in summertime. If you live in a very hot, humid climate where your occlusive and thick moisturizer just doesn't work, you know, you're thinking it actually is impossible to sweat through it, it feels really heavy on the skin, you could actually use this as a lightweight gel alternative, keep it in the fridge, instantly calms and soothes the skin, and it layers really well on top of itself. So if you want some additional hydration beyond what you get from one application, just put a little bit more on top, work it in, double the hydration without it pilling, peeling or balling up. You can reapply it on top of things throughout the day. It's just a really flexible gel moisturizer that I think is something pretty special on the market. Amazing for oily or combination oily skin types, especially people with active breakouts. But for everyone else, as a summer moisturiser, could work just as well. Now finally, let me share how I use these two products. Well, maybe I'm a bit bougie, maybe I'm a little extra, but because they're so affordable, I actually purchased both, and I think they work really, really well at using them on the areas where you need them. So I tend to be super oily in the T-zone, quite dry on the cheeks. So I'll use the one with phytoceramides on those dry areas. I'll use the one with beta-glucan, the gel one, on the T-zone. This way you can always help the skin to naturally balance itself out without needing too many additional products. You can then put your sunscreen on top of all of that, knowing that your skin is going to be a little bit more balanced, but protected, deeply nourished and hydrated. This is probably the way forward. And then in summer, where my skin just is oily all over, I'll just switch to using the one with beta-glucan. But that flexibility at two really affordable and drugstore price moisturizers, I think is why these are actually holy grails. And I would encourage everyone to experiment with both to work out what's the right one for your individual skin's needs. If you don't want to buy two products, I'd say stick to the rule that phytoceramides for dry, combination dry, the one with beta-glucans for oily, combination oily, and that way you should have no problem going forward. Let me know what your thoughts are on these products. Do you think they're special, meeting a gap in the market, or did you expect a little bit more from The Ordinary? Let's get that conversation going in the comment section below. And wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.